And I'm pleased to say that the co-founder and CEO of Spyke Games, Rina Onur Sirinoglu, joins me now here in the studio. Thank you so much for coming in, Rina. Firstly, congratulations. $55 million is a big amount of money for any seed round in any country, but as it happens, it's the largest amount raised for any seed round in Turkey. What do you plan to do with the money, and what's your reaction to the investment?
We're extremely happy and pleased and proud that this has happened. It's on the back of our team, which is coming from major gaming companies around the world, some of which are from Turkey, our old home, Peak Games. So we're very happy that people and investors, credible investors, trusted us with this amount of money in helping us get to our target, which is to create one of the largest mobile gaming companies in the world, again, based out of Istanbul.
What's perhaps even more notable about this investment is that you managed to secure it without actually officially launching anything, because I understand that your first game, Royal Riches, is in a soft launch sort of mode. It's available in some countries, including in Turkey right now, on the various app stores. But how did you manage to do that, and why do you think the investor really had so much faith in you that it was prepared to do that before an actual official global launch?
We get this question a lot, and I always say the answer is really simple. The secret sauce and the way we did it is, I think, with the team. 4 out of the 5 co-founders have worked together at Peak Games for many, many years. We went through so many struggles, went through challenges, and then created a world-class gaming company together. And with all that learning, we crafted a team coming from Peak Games and others around the world to create world-class forever franchises that are going to have millions of users from the world that are going to be kept in our games on our platforms for many years to come. So I think that pedigree and that past experience of having done this before together and that shared history was what instilled the confidence in the investor base and trusting us with this amount of funding.
Yes, can I talk more about your background? Because as you mentioned, the co-founders of this company, including yourself, you previously co-founded Peak Games, and just to remind our audience, Peak was sold to the global gaming giant Zynga for just under $2 billion in 2020. So how do you think that background has really helped your company succeed?
Yes, I was one of the co-founders at Peak. My brother was with us at Peak in the very early days. One of our co-founders, who's heading our product at the moment, was the first product manager ever out of Peak. Our CTO was the second ever mobile engineer. So this is a lot of shared history. But not only the co-founding team, but also some of our core functions, the team leads and the senior team members, have all worked with us for many years, starting from Peak and then at other adventures. So we had the opportunity and the luxury to be able to entrust really, really capable and really strong people with core functions of and in and around building a game.
Yes, tell us more about the premise of your company, because I understand what you want to do is not just make online video games, but you also want to involve and interweave the social element into it. Explain to us what that is exactly and what the connection is between online video gaming and social media.
Sure. So at Peak, we had 2 different kinds of studios. One of them we called the casual, and the other one we called the multiplayer synchronous games that actually focused on culturally relevant games that were applicable to Turkey. So the tabletop games, card games, board games like backgammon or okay, that people that play in Turkey all the time, we digitized them and brought them first to Facebook and then to mobile. What was interesting about those products was that because the content was very specific to Turkey, we only had an audience in Turkey, but the retention and engagement between the users was incredibly high. This created incredibly sticky content that kept its user base for many years to come with a loyal fan base. But the puzzle games that we did under the casual studio, it had a massive audience around the world, millions of users coming from wide range of geographies globally. But the retention was slightly lower compared to the other games because they were not social. They were like really solitary experiences, the types of games that you would play in the doctor's office or in the bus stop and whatnot. So we said, why don't we merge these two? Why don't we create these casual games that have a massive global audience, that are easy to learn and easy to play, but also have this underlying social factor where your play experience gets better if your friend or your colleague or your cousin joins the game and plays alongside you. So that has been the North Star. The first game features that aspect, like that social connectivity, and we plan to do that for our future releases as well.
Okay, so right now your company is gearing up for the global launch of Royal Riches. So of course you're preoccupied with that. But beyond that, what's in store for your future? And are you really looking to raise more money going forward?
We're always a team-focused company. For us, the team comes first because we believe that if we have talented and smart and hardworking people focused around a single mission, and if we motivate them to stay around that mission for a long enough time, then we can achieve anything. And that includes creating top charting, global charting games and titles. So for us, one of the main focuses is to keep enhancing and enlarging the team in line with our company culture and vision and mission, alongside that work on Royal Riches, but also start thinking about the future content that we're going to develop. Because this is not a one-hit wonder company. We want to be around for the long time. This is a marathon. So we're always thinking about what's happening around the world and how we can adapt that into our own culture and build new games.
Another thing that I think captured the media's attention at the time of the winning of your seed funding was the fact that you're a female CEO of a video gaming company, which is quite rare, and it's rare in the wider tech world as well. Have you encountered any obstacles because of that?
It's undeniable that diversity and inclusion is a problem in tech, not only in Silicon Valley, but all around the world. Female representation in leadership positions, on boards, or even companies that have raised funding with female representation, that's incredibly low. And back at Peak, when people interviewed me and asked about how it feels to be like a female leader, I always said, like, what a silly question. Do you ever ask that to a man? And my mission as a leader within this company is to get to a place where asking this question feels silly to you and to everybody else. Obviously, fast forward 10 years, it hasn't happened yet. I still get that question, and rightfully so. But I think what's interesting about gaming is that when you look back 5 years or even a decade, when you thought about the generic gamer archetype, you thought of like a young male, younger than 25 with headphones on and super antisocial, like, cooped up in his room. But that gamer archetype has changed. Now, especially in casual puzzle, 65% of the users that we're seeing on a daily basis and a significant portion of the payers are actually women, females over 35. So middle-aged women who are playing these games for a long, long time and spending money on them. So if the audience is skewed towards female and the content we develop is to actually satisfy and please that type of an audience, it's natural to me that we're going to see leadership shift to women in gaming companies as well. Because can you think of a company that's trying to address a market without having a representative from that significant market? So I think we're just an example. I think we're going to see more women representation and leadership roles in gaming, which should spill over to other parts of tech. But yeah, I mean, it is something that we deal with on a constant basis, but that's why we pay a lot of attention to diversity and inclusion within Spyke. To this day, 30% of our employee base is female, and we look and strive to increase that, with every passing day.
Okay, Rina Onur Sirinoglu, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much again for joining us, and best of luck with your company.
Thank you.